What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How was your life?
Going.
There we go.
What's up, babe? It's Monday.
Don't tell everybody it's Monday. I'm drinking. It's not even 5 o'clock.
Me too.
Or is it?
I think it is 5 o'clock.
It is.
It's 5 minutes after 5.
It is.
We didn't waste any time.
Hey, so on the last episode, I'm sure everyone got to see my beautiful flowers.
Your roses?
What is roses? You know what's so insane though?
What's that?
These roses have been alive since Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And today is already the 21st. These are the longest.
You haven't had flowers last you
roses
a week?
But listen, they never bloom perfectly. Every one of these roses are blooming. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally that's not the case. Normally there's a few of them hanging over, a few of them dead. And so anyways, I'm just admiring my roses.
So you bought us roses for Valentine's Day.
I did, yes.
Hey, we haven't even talked about Valentine's Day, really. Like, you went and bought, like, you did Valentine's Day for us. And got us cards and got roses for everybody. Well, I mean, not for you, but for, our family.
What I wanted to do, the roses are for me, but I said it was for all of us. No. Yeah. But I wanted to do something, for all of us, for the entire family. And I had sent you a text. I'm like, don't get me anything. I'm doing something for the family.
It was too late. I already got you a bowl. Was it the bowl?
No, you got me a card.
I got you a card.
Yes.
I got you the bowl for your birthday.
And I love cards. I do. I enjoy cards because I get to keep them and read them over, and over and over. Anyway, so I decided that I was going to make us dinner, and you love enchiladas.
Yep.
So I decided to make some enchiladas, chicken, green chili, and Joey loves them as well. And so I put all kinds of love. I actually made them a little different, and they came out really, really good. And I bought us all cards. I bought you a card, Joey, Audrey. It was really cool because right before dinner, we all had our own cards, and the kids, we all read our individual cards. I got us roses and chocolate, and it was just a family Valentine's Day, and it was different, and it was really good.
Hey,
I enjoyed it.
I want to ask you, Valentine's Day, like for you. Okay, so what about what are your thoughts on Valentine's Day? Probably should have did this a week ago.
Yes.
But
I was very
just like us, we're late to the party.
Because
I'm not talking about this Valentine's Day.
You didn't get me anything. No.
Oh,
no, I know what you're talking about. And I say this, I've said it before, even for birthdays. Like, I know, like, it is a special day,
Yeah.
Birthdays are special days. Valentine's Day, I love them. I loved Valentine's Day growing up. With you and I don't need you to buy me roses or chocolates or jewelry to make me feel loved.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we do on a day-to-day basis.
Dude, it's always been that way. Right?
Yeah.
It's no matter, like, even our marriage, like when we got married, was kind of like, it's like, let's go do it. It wasn't like a huge thing.
Let's talk about that.
Like none birthdays, Christmas, and Valentine's Day is one of those, like, for a lot of guys, they're fucking stressing. And they can fuck Valentine's Day up. You know what I mean? Because that's the expectation.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, if he doesn't get me this or take me out to this, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, but see, it's the thought behind it as well. For my birthday.
You mean like the thought that Hallmark had to start Valentine's Day?
For my birthday, if you did not wish me, like, if you forgot my birthday, you've never forgotten it before. So that might make me a little sad.
Yeah. Or our anniversary. I haven't forgot. I haven't. We haven't.
You never
really
have. I don't know.
forgot.
I'm just trying to be real. Like just. I don't know. Like I wouldn't get upset. I wouldn't be mad at you. I would just be a little sad maybe, or if you forgot the day.
It's.
I don't know.
Are people so busy that you don't remember what day it is?
Yes.
I mean, because we're busy, but it's not like I'm not that busy where I don't remember our anniversary, your birthday, or Valentine's Day is coming up.
Right. Yes. But it's not like I don't expect like this huge, like I don't, it's like, hey, you know what? Dude, give me a card and fulfill my needs.
Tie a bow around my...
Yes, and be like...
I need a bleep button.
And be like, here I am, baby. Like that there is perfect. I'm like,
All right, fucking take it easy.
Sorry.
So like we said,
all tingly over here.
This is Monday, and I just got home from work, and we're like, you know what? We got to record.
Look at you. You come home looking all delicious.
Before we could even start recording, Sonja's jumping on me.
But that's a good marriage.
That is a good thing. Hey,
yes.
Speaking of which, there's something I wanted to bring up.
Uh-oh.
So there was a couple times ago, like we were taking care of business, and I think there might have been some kids got home, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like kids are the biggest cock blocks in the world.
Yes. Like
for real. Mm-hmm. And we had talked about one time where like how our doors in this house are like paper thin. It's like the kids could be in the living room, but it sounds like they're standing on the other side of the door.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, the ball gags, one for me, one for you, so we don't make any fucking noise. If you guys haven't seen that video, I think that's one of the ones that has a lot of traction. So you guys can go back and look up Opposites Attract Podcast ball gags and it'll come up. But so this last time or whenever it was, we're getting down, we're taking care of business, and all of a sudden the kids get home and like we start hearing the kids. And you decided, like, you had been on a roll for like that week where whoever you came in contact with, you were feeling like extra motivational. Like you were giving pep talks to people at that time or something like that. But now we're taking care of business. The kids are knocking out or like they're making all kinds of noise.
Yes, they're
and
home.
You decide to start giving me a pep talk in the middle of it. You're like, hey,
stay with me. Stay with me.
She's like, I'm going to go get that bowl that you got me for my birthday. Bong, and whoa, whoa. So I could sit there like, focus. Right. Stay here with me.
But
and I'm like, what the fuck, Oprah? Chill out.
Yeah. But normally it's me, right?
Yeah.
Because for women, it seems as men are more visual, right? They want the sexy teddy. They want the body oil rubbed all over. Now they want to see their woman's,
Baby, yeah.
Right. Men are more visual, it seems. And for women, it's more of a mental connection, right? Like you have to.
You know what? Now that you say that, that's kind of fucking crazy because it is kind of that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for most guys, it is more of like a visual thing. But when it comes to doing it, mentally, you have to be there.
Yes.
Because if I can hear the fucking kids and it sounds like they're in the room with me.
We need one of those. Sound effects. Exactly. I'm like, what happened?
Fucking sitting there, all of a sudden, you hear the kids screaming. And
right. But normally, it would be me, right?
What do you...
Normally, I'm saying if I hear the kids, like it's something where I'm like, right? Because I'm loud. Like I'm not a quiet.
But that day I think there was extra kids. It was like fucking 3 or 4 kids that came over.
I was zoned in to what my body was feeling.
And you wanted me to be zoned
there 100%. I did not care that the kids were in the house. I'm like, I don't care.
It's like one of those. Damn it. I don't know if it's like a fighter that's getting the shit kicked out of them, or like somebody that got shell shocked and more. You slap the shit out of them. Fucking stay with me, get back in the game.
And I could feel that you were not with me. You were not you weren't in my zone. Man.
I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at the door. It's like I'm looking at you.
Right.
I'm peeking at the door. I'm like, they're gonna fucking bust in here.
But in that situation,
you felt I needed a pep talk.
Yeah, and the pep talk didn't work, so it ended. And I was like, whatever. Like, I was cool because I'm like, okay, well, round 2 tonight, right? Like, we're going to get back to where we were.
That may or may not happen.
And it did not happen. And I wasn't too excited about that. But I mean, it's just the things that you have to deal with when, you have kids and you don't have a split floor plan.
Next house.
You don't want to traumatize your kids.
Like we had a list for this house. Next house has a list too. And split floor plan is on that list.
No, for sure.
At the top of the list.
Right.
Split floor plan, meditation room, podcast room.
But it's very important. Like, if you are in that situation, where you have kids and you guys are having problems, being intimate, you have to make it work. You have to take care of each other, and figure it out. With us, it's like, okay, well, we have our bedroom, we do have the bathroom, and we do have a closet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's never gotten that bad to where we're just like, what the hell kind of deal.
Fucking in the closet.
Instead, we're bumping and grinding at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah. Like when there's crickets. No.
Yeah. How you doing, Mom? I love you so much. Thanks for listening to the podcast. And shout out to your mom, too. Thanks,
babe.
Oh shit.
But it is what it is. Like, you have to make it work. And my niece was over, and we were just talking about girl things. We talk about relationships. She's been in a relationship for
long time.
10 years. It's
something
up
like
there.
That,
it's close to where we, to us actually.
Yeah.
She was living with us when she met him.
Yep.
And we were talking about just keeping it spicy, like keeping it hot in the bedroom. And you have to, when you've been in a relationship for so long, there's times where
you got to drop a digit on them.
We will take each other, for granted just because we've been together for so long. But it's like, just because you've been together for so long doesn't mean that you don't have needs,
Yeah. No, I mean, since this podcast has started, like, we talk about some of the stuff that we get, to keep things interesting, and you can look up stuff, and it's not just buying things, but,
It's knowing each other as well. It's knowing each other. It's so important, because with me, over the years, like, I've talked to you. I've helped you to understand me and what turns me on and what gets me excited.
Yeah.
Right? And vice versa. And so I know, even when you're not in the mood, I know what to do to get you there.
Yeah.
And sometimes one partner might be tired because they just had a long day, and it's like, you have to have that mutual respect and understanding.
Yeah.
When it's time. But it's really just being vulnerable, and that's the key right there, is being vulnerable enough and trusting your partner.
Yeah.
With what it is that you need. Because some people are pretty kinky, and others, when I was like, choke me, you're like, wait, what?
A glass coffee table and shit.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I know.
Wait, you want me to do what?
We got to start looking for glass coffee tables on OfferUp and shit.
Okay. You can talk to me about that
I'm not
later,
even going to tell you
maybe?
about that because you'll be disgusted. Those of you that know.
Oh, babe,
horrible.
Really? Why would you even bring that up? I'm not even there, man.
We were just saying people are into different shit.
I know.
Literally, right?
I know, but why do you got to go there for? Like, for real?
Because people are into different shit.
I think that's a small percentage. At least I'm hoping
but
that's a
if
small
you're in that
percentage,
you got to do a... you got to take care of
I don't know
business.
how we got on this subject. Oh, Valentine's Day, maybe?
Yeah. This isn't 169, is it? It's 168. We're an episode away.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then to be continued. No.
Yeah. come back for the next episode.
But I don't know what it was for. I don't know if it was for Christmas or my birthday. Like you bought me all kinds of little cute netting outfits.
Yeah.
And I like those. Those are simple. They're sexy. They're hot and they're easy to take off.
It's kind of like your fucking flowers. You're like, oh, I got us Valentine's roses, but they're really for me. And it's like, yeah, I fucking bought you fishnet fucking sexy clothes. It's really for me though.
Right. So with these flowers, I'm not a big flower gal. I've never really been into like flowers. It's nice, when you come home unexpectedly with a rose, and it could be a single rose, even if you jack the neighbor. Like, it's the thought that counts. But when I saw these roses, these are my favorite. And I've never even told you, that they were. Cool. But the yellow or the red, these are the roses that do it for me.
Yeah. No, they're cool. They look nice.
They're so beautiful. But anyways.
It's funny. I told when you got the roses, you were like, oh, they're so pretty. And they are. Like, they look nice. They're some of the nicest roses I've ever seen. And
I cut them. And I thought that I was going to jack them up. One time when the first time I started applying for jobs, it was at a flower shop.
Was it?
And you know what they had us do?
What?
They had us go in there and cut the roses to see, and if you cut them right, then you were in the spot to get an interview. Well, I don't know what I did, but I didn't cut them right. Interview? No, I didn't.
You're like chopping them off right at the flower.
So when I was cutting these, I'm like, oh God, help me. Cause I remembered I screwed up the flowers, the roses. I did not cut them correctly. And that's why I didn't get the job. But with these ones, I did something right good. Because they just look great.
But I told you when you got the roses, like, I don't know what it is about roses, but when I smell,
oh God,
like it was like ruining the nice day.
Yes, because I'm telling Miguel, these nice roses smell so good, and I have my face like in the rose.
But kind of like the glass coffee table, I told you, I was like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, but
why?
When because I was tell like, somebody
because
that,
I thought of it, and then I was like, oh, yeah, but that's kind of fucked up. I was like, I don't want to tell you that because I was like, I don't want you to like always smell roses that way. But I told you because then you didn't let off until I told you.
No, because now I wanted to know. I was curious.
And you actually guessed it. You actually guessed it without me telling you.
But not on that level. I mean, I assumed that roses reminded you of funerals. That's what I thought that you were going to say. But what you said was much more dark. You said that the smell of roses remind you of death.
It's the smell.
Yes.
The smell of roses. Because when I don't know why, but whenever I smell roses, it reminds me of funerals and death.
Which is death.
So it's the smell of them. Like not when I look at them.
Right.
Because I was telling you that I was talking to Joey about all the shit that people make up. And like red roses mean love and yellow roses mean friendship and white roses mean death, or I don't know what the hell they mean.
I don't know.
But I was telling him like all these different things. But then when I started thinking about it and I smelled the roses when you got them, I was like, yeah, that always just kind of reminds me of like funerals and dead people.
And I'm like, I thought I was thinking like dark, and then you go and you come and you really like take it to the next level.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, so I have been talking about how I've been off track, like I have been unbalanced and, just feeling a certain way, not feeling my best, not feeling 100%. And I know what it has to do with. And it's so crazy because when you start to know yourself and you start to process your thoughts and your feelings, right? Like your emotions and, patterns start to show. When you start paying attention and you're being mindful, you will start to see patterns. And this is a pattern that I've always seen within. And it's whenever I step away from the gym, from my health, from working out.
Yeah.
That something always, because of the imbalance, I am off just in almost every area, right? Like when I am good in the gym, our sex life is on point.
Yeah. You weren't complaining last night.
Dude, I've been on top of you.
Yeah.
Like I've been like on you every day. right?
But we're still doing pretty good.
But I've been working out. I've been hiking.
We have been hiking a lot.
Yeah. I've been making myself get out and do the thing that I know that I need to do. And so like I was sharing with Miguel, like I know like my spiritual weight. I know where I should be. And I know when I am giving 100%, when I am at my best.
My spiritual weight is
and
175 jacked as fuck.
And my best.
I just never get there.
Is when I'm at my best. My weight is at 135.
Yeah.
Right? When my weight is there and I'm doing what I need to do, my business is kicking ass. Our sex life is on point.
How is it that
my networking is on point?
But how is
being a mother is on point?
Yeah. But how is it that when you adding more to your plate? Because you're not going to the gym now.
What?
Right?
What do you mean I haven't been going?
I mean, you haven't been going to the gym now. So how is it that adding more to your plate kind of like helps with everything else?
Well, for me, the gym allows me to release the stresses of life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a release for me.
Does it matter if you go in the morning or in the evening?
I prefer to go in the mornings. That's the thing.
But does it matter?
That I'm unsure of because normally I go in the morning. Like today, this morning, I went.
You've had times where you've gone in the afternoon also. But
yeah. No,
I don't think it lasted very long.
But it's just getting in there. Like I know what I need to do in order to be at my best.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, I mean, just working out, because most people, when they do work out, it's working out first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So if people have like a workout routine,
mm-hmm.
well, I guess that's not true because there's a lot of people that go to work and then they go to work out after work.
Right.
You know, that happens a lot too. But I think when you work out in the morning, like you start your day, you're getting your day already on a roll. And once you're done, like if you're up at 6 working out, 7:30, you're hitting the ground running.
Right.
Where a lot of people at 7:30 are, you know, still trying to get it together and figure out what they're going to get started with, you know, but you've already been at it.
Mm-hmm. And now that I'm learning about this Enneagram and the different, I'm not going to get into it yet until I'm more confident with what I'm talking about. But what it's saying that my number that I think I am, there's still a lot of learning that needs to happen in order for me to identify and know 100% that this is my number. But I am one that my feelings have to be on point, right?
Yeah.
And even when I'm not feeling it, I have to get to that point to where I continue to do what I need to do to get past that.
Yeah.
And if I am not in the gym, they say that, you know, a lot of the 2, 3s, and 4s, if they are not in the gym consistently, that a lot of times things will start to shift, not in a good way, but in a bad way, because they need to release.
So depending on that person, that type of personality,
right,
they need to get that.
And the
physical.
more I'm listening to it, I'm like, it's so right.
But you know what? There's a lot of, I mean, you hear that all the time, not just with a certain personality. You know, you hear it from a lot of people. Like if you want to improve your lifestyle, like start getting in shape.
Right. Well, but the thing.
But it's maybe it's more for those.
Don't have to go be consistent, but you're still going to be.
But it still helps.
Fine. It helps, but you're still going to be okay. You're going to still be okay. With me, it's going to be a struggle. Like it's something that I need to do. Like it's something that I have to do in order for me to stay balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You know, and a lot of time with that, it talks about like it helps. And with anybody, it does help a lot with depression. It helps with a lot of.
Yeah. Cause like for me, I can work out and I'll feel good afterwards. And I mean, I guess it kind of helps out throughout the day. Like I said earlier, like it'll already help me get started on the next thing. Like I'm already up, I'm at it, I'm getting shit done. So let's go. But for you, I think it has a bigger effect on your day.
Yes. Yes. And it's just something that I have to make happen. Like I have to make happen.
Yeah.
Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I have to go. And this morning, so our niece ended up staying the night with us last night, which was super, super cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love having her around. I love she brings me comfort.
Yeah.
You know, she is the one that, and I don't know if it has to do with me having that relationship with her, you know, my sister that passed, and that she brings me that comfort because she is part of her, you know, but just having her around, the conversation and being able to being able to let go. And she knows me so well, you know, that she's been telling me, you need to go to this gym. You have to go to this gym. And she would tell me,
seems like it's
she
fun.
would call me, she would text me, you got to go. And me just procrastinating. Like, I already paid for my gym in full with, you know, LA. I don't want to go and start with another gym. Yeah. And she's like, but I'm telling you, you will love it. So finally, you know, she stayed the night and we decided to go. And I absolutely loved it. And I can see myself being consistent
doing that
with this gym, because I've always really enjoyed boxing and kickboxing and jump roping, and they have ropes and they have their equipment for strength training and all of it, and it's small and intimate, and the instructor is fun. Amazing, you know. So I feel that there's a shift, you know, but when you talk about change, when you're so used to doing the same thing and going to the same place every day, you know, it's hard to decide to do something different, but sometimes something different is what we need.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes, like, I think it's when you're getting comfortable, when you've been doing the same thing for such a long time that you're comfortable.
Yes.
It's time to switch things up.
And it gets boring too, though. That's what I noticed, like, you know, just not having someone there that I can motivate and train, because I've been trying to get neighbors to go with me, because I know that if they are depending on me, that I will make it happen. I will be up at 5 a.m. because I know that I have someone that is depending on me.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a selfish kind of move to, you know,
to
trying
help somebody else.
To help somebody else, because I know by helping them that I'm going to help me.
Dude, if you get somebody the same as you, like you guys are helping each other and you guys both have the same mentality, you guys will both be freaking, that's what you need.
Yes. And I love helping people.
No, but what I'm saying is that you need to find somebody similar to you that also works out, but doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're trying to motivate people that don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody that has a history of working out that's kind of fallen off and they want to work out. Right. And they want to get back into it. And then if you and them get into it, it's on now.
Yes.
Because you guys both are into it.
Yes.
Not you trying to convince people that don't work out into working out with you.
Right. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Because that would take more energy.
You know? Yeah.
In order to do that.
But I mean, you can still help people out or whatever.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But so you went to like a kickboxing,
it's for real.
Gym, yeah?
Like I told them, I'm like, I've taken some kickboxing, you know, LA Fitness, they have classes there. Then I used to go to another. I've been working out since I was 18.
Do they teach you real boxing?
Yes, they do.
Like keeping your hands up?
They had the mats. I mean, there was a girl, I don't know, a spotter, and she was working with me one-on-one. And so was some guy. Oh, so, okay. I'm a lefty, but I do a lot of things with my right hand. I bat right. I cut scissors with my right. Like there's certain things that I do with my right hand. Yeah. So when I first went to the class, like they're teaching you the numbers, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, 6. And so he's teaching me the numbers, and you know, if you're right-handed, then the numbers are going to be odd or whatever, right?
Yeah. Your jab's like, always you're 1, a lefty. Your cross is always 2.
Yeah, and I'm a lefty, so he's teaching me as a lefty.
Yeah.
And I cannot get it for the life of me. And I'm thinking I'm fucking dyslexic. What? All I see are these numbers, and I am not getting it. Dude. It doesn't feel comfortable because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Like they're giving you different numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember,
1,
you know. But then it's not just 1, 2, babe. You have
but then you have 3,
4,
5,
and
6.
then 5, 6, and then 7, 8, right? Yeah. And sometimes they're all just in different orders. Anyways, so he has me sitting there and boxing, you know, as a lefty, and I'm not I'm not getting this. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? And then Nikki comes over and Nikki's like, Thea, does that feel comfortable to you? And I'm like, no. She's like, well, maybe because I told him, I'm like, that I bat right. And she's like, let me show you as if you were a righty.
Who said that?
Nikki. Nikki's been doing it forever though, right? Like she's been one-on-one. She knows her stuff. Boxers. Right. The instructors. There's an instructor there. Okay. So she's showing me and I get it instantly. She's like,
so you're more comfortable as a righty.
Yes. Yes. So once she started doing, I got it. And I'm like, okay, this is good. I get it.
You know,
they're showing you the kicks because it's kickboxing.
You know what they say? I mean, just kind of like a not off topic, but for our podcast maybe. But in fighting, there's times when they'll take a lefty and they'll train them as a righty. They do that sometimes. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because usually if you're a lefty, you have more power in your left hand. Mm-hmm. So what they'll do is they'll teach you the form of how to throw a good right hand, but your jab is going to be hard as fuck because you have a strong left hand already.
And I'm pretty solid with both.
That's probably why, because you have usually the jab, the one is softer because that's your weak hand. Your one is, for me, I'm a lefty. My one is my right, my jab. So, I mean, after practicing it a while, it gets better. But in the beginning, when you start throwing your weak hand, it's not that strong. So what they'll do is they'll switch to the other. They'll put your strong hand in the front so you can throw a jab hard, and then they teach you the technique for the right cross or the left cross or whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah.
And then afterwards, she's like,
so maybe you'll start a professional fighting career.
And then she's like, no. And then she's like, afterwards, she's like, if you're feeling okay, we'll do some one-on-one. And I'm like, great. And the thing of it is that even though I haven't been working out for a while, when it comes to working out, I will push myself.
Yeah.
And I love kickboxing anyway.
Me too.
So even after, she's like, she's like, you know some stuff. Like, you're not a beginner. I'm like, I'm not a beginner. Like I worked with you. Once I get it and I understand it, I'll pick it up pretty quick. And I love to work out anyway. Yeah. So even afterwards, like her and I did some one-on-one. And then after that, I looked at Nikki and I'm like, hey, you want to jump?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm not good at it. I'm like, just have fun. And they're playing some good music.
Oh, so it's perfect.
I get the rope and I'm just going. They're like, oh, you're one of those jumpers, huh?
Yeah. That's like, good. Fucking jump roping is the shit.
Dancing with the rope, you know? So, you know, it was fun. She did a TikTok. She did a little, you know, what is it called? A reel or whatever on her story. And I love it.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
No, for those of you out there, if you want to get into shape, you guys want to pick up a jump rope is one of those things that.
I have a weighted one, a speed rope.
Like, dude, you start with a song. You know, like just try to jump without making a mistake for a song. And it's going to take you a little while to get through that song, to be able to be good enough to get through that song. And the thing is that jumping rope is not one of these things where you're making these giant movements, like huge jumps. Like you're barely getting up off the floor to get the rope under your feet. And once you get good like that, then you really start getting into it and you can start moving around.
I love it.
And the freaking workout. I mean, you could do a song or two, a couple songs, and you're freaking worn out.
No, I have not. Well, normally I just jump until my legs are heavy as shit.
Linguini.
And I can't jump anymore.
Yeah.
But I never, that's good. You know, try to jump to an entire song. Like that's 3 minutes straight. And that's
tough.
I am a fast jumper. So I jump pretty fast, right?
Yeah,
I'm not a slow, but I mean, if I want to slow it down some, I could probably do an entire song, like just pace myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, even when I used to run, I used to I would find like a playlist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you could do it with jump rope too. But when I would run, when I was really getting into it, and there was also when I would watch my time, I could tell what songs I could listen to that would keep me at a certain track, because I would be running to the music and then another song would come on and I'd be like, I can't keep up to that.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't. So I would remember like, okay, this song feels good and I'm getting kind of tired, but I can do this. So I would save that to a playlist. And then I would listen to it and I'm like, oh, this one's another good one. And then what I did was I looked up the beats per minute for that song. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like, I don't know if it was like 95 or 85 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But when I figured that out, I looked up like whatever genre you're into, like hip hop. I mean, hip hop is great for working out, rock songs, whatever. And you put 95 BPM hip hop songs and it'll tell you like in the club, it'll tell you, you know, all these different songs. You just put them on a playlist and start fucking running.
Yeah. You have to find what works for you. Like if you've been trying to enjoy working out, because that's the thing. Like if you don't enjoy it, it's going to make it harder to get in. So you have to find something that you really enjoy. And whether it's taking a Zumba class, right? Do you like to dance?
That or a reason to work out. Like if you join some kind of a league for something, whether it's flag football or softball or, I mean, for me, jiu-jitsu or whatever. I mean, you might want to work out to get better at the things that you want to do. So it's not like you're just working out just because, fuck, I got to get in shape. But it's like, no, I want to get in shape so that I can do better at this thing that I like doing.
Right. When so Audrey and I were working out, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, I had decided I need to get back in. And I was just starting off again. And I wasn't hitting it hardcore like I normally do. You would always talk shit to me because I would get back in the gym and I'm lifting as if I never lift and then I can't walk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm like, I need to build that habit on just getting in.
Yeah.
Even if it's just speed walking for 20 minutes or jump roping, because that's my thing, right? But I need to ease into that. Yeah. I need to start making a habit just to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get in here, to get in. And when Audrey when she started going with me, I knew that if she were to wake me up, I was good to go. But then she wasn't waking up and she wasn't waking me up and I didn't have an alarm set. So I was like, you know, so I couldn't depend on her. Like that's the thing. You can't depend on other people. You got to make it happen.
You got to find the discipline.
And that's why, you know, I really like this gym. And I think, you know, I'm going to go tomorrow and just get more information from the, you know, the general manager. And if I have to switch gyms, then I got to do what I got to do in order to get myself back to where I need to be so that I have that balance.
Yeah. No, it's important.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if that's going to help you get your mind right and get focused on what you need to do, then yeah, it's an investment in yourself.
Right.
So, well, like we were talking about the jump ropes and all that stuff. Actually, we just picked up some punching mitts.
Oh, yes. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to spar.
You want to spar? We'll fucking spar after this.
Yes.
Take my clothes off. We can spar later.
Yes. Right
but
now.
So we picked up these punching mitts because I wanted to teach the kids. Like, well, I mean, you know, they do jujitsu, and I want them to also not so much. I mean, I want them to know how to throw punches, but not for them to be like knocking people out and shit like that. But just so that they can understand what it's like to have somebody throw punches at you and what you can do. You know, but yeah, we picked up these mitts. I think they were, excuse me. I think they were like $25 on Amazon. They're just the focus mitts for the
take a drink of your whiskey, dude.
No, I don't think
that sounds it's like so nice.
It's like an itch.
You got an itch down your throat.
But anyway, so yeah, no, it's these mitts, and you know, for the they can throw on their little boxing gloves, and then we can practice. But they were like $25 on Amazon. If you guys would like to pick them up, you guys can go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. And you can click on the support the show tab. And when you click on that, it'll take you to our Amazon link. If you're on the computer, you'll see that link. If you're on the phone, you can hit the menu button and you'll see the link. And when you click on that Amazon link, it doesn't cost you anything extra. But whenever you buy something, it'll help out the show. And also while you're on Amazon, you can search Opposites Attract Podcast and you'll find our merch. You can see our t-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases.
All that good stuff.
Yep. And you'll also see... When you click on the Support the Show tab, you'll see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. So if you are in the process of selling, purchasing, or refinancing your home, you can actually request Trust Inc. through your title agency. I always leave that out.
Yeah.
You know, but the title agency are the individuals who actually hire the signing agent to actually go out and close that loan.
When does somebody that's buying a house request? When do they do that?
I would say at the beginning, like when they're dealing with the lender.
Because I don't remember really dealing with the title company. Like when we were buying this house, like we did the real estate agent and the loan officer.
Yes.
So who do you ask?
So a lot of people don't know that they can shop for their title for their whatever title, office they want to use, whether it's Old Republic or
it's just
Rock
that
Title,
the loan company has a relationship and they'll use whoever they use.
Right. But sometimes they'll ask, they should, ask the borrower or seller, what title agency would you like to use? So in that situation, Trust Inc. is vetted with a lot of title agencies already. But what you can do is just tell your title agency, whoever you decide to go, that you already have a signing agency that you would like to use. And when you give them the information, they will contact me or they will send me an email stating the request. And that's when, we are hired. And it doesn't matter what state you live in because we are nationwide.
Yep. And you can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustincUSA.com.
Yes. And just so you all know, some title agencies are open to where you can actually go sign in their office. And if you sign in their office, then you don't need to hire a mobile notary. It's if, for your convenience, if you have like little children and you don't want to take them into the title agency and you rather have a mobile notary come to your place of employment or your home, so that's where we come into play.
So to save money, if you're buying a house, you could tell them I want to sign at the office.
Right.
And then just look for that fee and make sure they take it out.
Right. Yes.
And if you don't want to do that, hire Trust Inc.
Correct.
TrustIncUSA.com.
Yes.
There you go. And we're also affiliates with Pinwheel, which is the best smartphone available for kids. What they do is they take pretty much a Samsung phone and they put their software on it so that every call that comes through the phone gets logged and every text message gets logged. It has to be approved by the parent using their parent portal that you download onto your phone. All the apps that are available on those phones are all selected by parents, by counselors, therapists that have kids' best interests in mind. And it's only the apps that are going to make kids more productive. It's not going to get them addicted to the phone like YouTube, like Fortnite, like all that other stuff. Like our daughter, she's got Duolingo on it. And you can make the phone very age appropriate. Like if you have a 5-year-old, you can put Spotify Kids on there. But if you have an older kid that maybe, they live in the real world, like they've heard curse words before, they know the songs, you can give them regular Spotify.
Right.
If you can trust them with that. But that's up to you as a parent and your discretion, and you know your kids better than anybody, so you have to make that decision. And if there's stuff on Spotify, and this is the thing, is that this is a tool, this is something that helps, but ultimately, no matter what, it is our responsibility as parents to know what our kids are getting into. No matter what company puts anything out there, it's on us to know what's happening with our kids.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's the school or anybody else. So if you guys would like 10% off of a Pinwheel phone, you can use promo code OAPTEN, all in caps, on pinwheel.com, and that'll get you 10% off of a Pinwheel phone. We're also buymeacoffee.com.
Yes, or buy me a bottle of wine.
Or a bottle of whiskey. But if you guys would like to buy us a coffee, you guys can go to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. Like we've said before, if we ran into you guys at a bar, at a coffee shop, we would love to buy you a drink, buy you a coffee, get to know you a little bit because you guys obviously listen to us. And if you guys would like to do that for us, you guys can do that at buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod. Another
thing is that I know a lot of our listeners, like a lot of my friends, they ask, if we have questions or comments, what can we do? And I'm like, well, you can find us on our group page on Facebook. But we also have a phone number.
Yeah. You can send us a message. We'll play it on the show. We'll answer your questions.
Yeah. Yeah. All that good stuff. So that phone number is
480-912-5128.
We would love to hear from you guys. So give us a call.
Yeah. So, yep. Thank you guys. So something recently, so we've talked about on the last, I don't know how many episodes, but, about like the stuff that we're doing with the finances, how we're, moving on some new things, opening new bank accounts and all that stuff. And recently we ran into something that was kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, it was my mistake, but at the same time, it was one of those things that it's like our money, and then people, like we're requesting a large amount of money. And for any of you out there, like we've tried to buy cars before, cash, and it's just,
it's a hassle.
It is.
It's a hassle when you are wanting to buy a car cash and you're wanting your money, your hard-earned money that you worked so hard for. Like, it's like, give me my money. And the bank is like, I'm sorry, but we don't got it. And you have to jump through hoops to get your money. Like, it's just insane.
Well, let me tell you. So we had a situation where we needed this money. We're trying to open up new accounts and do some new things, trying to move some money around so that we can get some stuff done. But something happened where it was a pain. They wouldn't authorize it or whatever. So we had to jump through some hoops, and it took longer than we wanted to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's so frustrating because this is our money that we've worked for, we've earned. And it's like, if I want to pull every fucking penny out of my bank account, who the fuck are you to tell me that I can't?
Yes.
Or to hold me up? You know what I mean? Right. And that is actually one of the reasons why crypto can become so appealing for people.
It's funny that you're talking about this because I just got a message from our friend Mike, and you want to read it?
What, should I read it?
Yeah. Read that.
Buy more Bitcoin. It's down as fuck. Fucking tell me about it.
Right?
Fucking I know. I bought in before it went down.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. But no, like that is, when that happened, like I started to get it. Because and you know what's actually really cool is that when this whole thing was happening, like we're having this trouble with the bank, and I'm calling the bank and I'm getting fucking pissed, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, fucking just give me my money. Stop making me fucking jump through hoops for my fucking money, and fucking sign this and come here and talk to this person and all this bullshit.
Right.
I mean, we've bought cars before where you have to call the bank and tell them that I'm going to try to pull out this much money, just kind of letting you know. And I get it because they don't, because of fraud and all that stuff. But the thing is that the bank, when I called the bank and I started asking some questions, you know what they care about? They only care about the fraud that they're liable for. The shit that they're going to have to pay for. That's the only thing they care about. Because if it's a mistake on your end, they don't call you. They don't give a fuck. If it's their problem, if it's something that's on them, they'll give you a call. They'll look into it because they're going to have to end up paying for it.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why there's an appeal to crypto. Because there is, you could just, like, you type in one wrong digit and you lose it, but that's on you.
Right.
To make you do what you want with your money, and nobody can stop you. And I think that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, so when this whole thing started going down, one of the coolest things was that Joey was around. I was kind of sitting at the table and I'm calling places, And I'm kind of explaining to Joey like what's happening. And I'm like, hey, like, do you hear what I'm talking about to the bank and all this stuff? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, this is money that I've earned, that we've earned, that we've bought houses, we've worked, we've made investments. This is our money.
Right.
And they're giving us a hard time. And then I started explaining to him, like, we just kind of started getting down that path. And it's crazy because a lot of adults sometimes don't even know what happens with your money when you give it to the bank. So with Joey, who's a 10-year-old, like, I started looking stuff up and showing him like, hey, this is what happens to your money. And right now, if you ask Joey what debt is, what interest is,
he thinks the banks are the enemy. No,
that's the way you should fucking think. That's the way you should think.
Yeah.
You know, because we started breaking everything down.
Yes.
Everything. Because I was telling him, I was like, what do you think happens to the money when you give the bank your money? I was like, this is even crazier to think about. When I get paid, I don't actually get paid. They don't give me anything. It's just a bunch of shit that shows up on my computer.
Isn't that nuts?
And then when I pay for stuff, I don't actually pay for anything. I just swipe something and it sends it somewhere else. And then the numbers disappear in my computer. But it's not like I have anything.
Right.
I was like, so what is all this stuff? And I was telling Joey, I'm like, when you get paid, like, let's say my job or whatever, I get paid $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, whatever it is. The bank takes all your money and lends it out to somebody else. And he started seeing all this stuff. I was like, so let's say you have $10,000 that you've saved and you open up a bank account and you put it in the bank. And now you have a friend of yours that wants to buy a car and he needs $10,000 to go buy that car. What the bank does is they take your $10,000 and they lend it to your friend. Now, what they'll do with your money is they'll give you a fraction of a percentage.
Oh my God.
In interest.
0.01.
So let's say that your bank for those $10,000 gives you $300 in interest. But your friend, when they lend them the $10,000, they're going to charge them $900 in interest. And then the bank makes $600 profit without doing anything. It's not even their money. So they'll do that. They'll invest some of that money too. So they don't actually have any of your money. Right. Not only that, but the bank is also making money off of fees, all kinds of fees, overdraft fees, late fees. You know, that's how they make their money. Right. And I was kind of explaining all of that to Joe, and he was just like, wow, like, that's pretty crazy. And now if you ask him, and I was telling him about the interest, the $900, like, your friend's going to pay those $900. That's the interest. I was like, what you want to do is you want to earn interest. You don't want to pay interest. You want to earn it. And that, you know, these are the conversations. Like, when shit like this comes up, you have to talk to your kids about what's going on. That is something that is so taboo, right? Right. Yeah. Like, dude, we talk to our kids about money all the time.
Yes. We talk to them about our finances. We talk to them like about the rental property. We talk to them about just all of it. Like, we are so open with our children because we want them to understand. You know, I don't remember being a child and having any of these conversations with anyone in my family. Matter of fact, I didn't start having these conversations until I became part of Legal Shield. And once I became a part of this networking event, my family and their friends that became family started talking to me and educating me about all of this.
Yeah. I always kind of knew about some of the stuff. Obviously not all of it, but that joining Legal Shield and getting around those people with that mindset. Yes. It was a game changer.
Yes. That's why it is so important. It is so important to check your associations. I have always hung out with people that were smarter than me, that had more than me, and that were willing to teach me. And believe it or not, there are so many people that are willing to teach you if you are courageous enough to ask questions, because so many people don't want to feel dumb, or they don't want to just be vulnerable to it's like, hey, how did you become debt free? What did you do? Can you teach me? You know, can you help me? Like, I learned that the most vulnerable words that you can say is, I need your help. Can you help me?
Yeah.
In Legal Shield, that's what they taught us. That's what they talked to us about. It's like, you know, you're trying to get your business to be known.
I don't know. Shit like that.
Yeah, just ask. Hey, you know, I have something I want to share with you. It will only take 15 minutes. You may or may not be interested. You know, can you help me? I'm trying to grow my business. Can you help me?
Dude, I think there's, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about this on the spot, but there's a couple things that seem like they would help a lot when you're trying to do, or when you're trying to learn something, when you're trying to move to another level, kind of like that, like in your business and investing, you're starting something new,
right,
and you need like expert help on something, somebody that's got more experience than you. One is your work ethic. Like they have to know that you're down to put that work in. Because if it's somebody that's an expert,
time is valuable. Yes.
If it's somebody that's an expert that's had success, they probably don't fuck around. Like they're serious about what they do.
Right.
And they don't waste time.
Right.
So they need to probably see something from you that shows them
that you're serious.
That you're not going to fucking bail on them. Right?
Right.
The humility. Because there's also the people that are willing to work, but they already know everything. And every time that somebody opens their mouth and starts saying something or suggesting something, they got fucking something to say.
Well, we just talked to our kids about this. Like, don't tell me
that
you already know.
That's a fucking rule from now on. I don't want to hear you fucking saying I know ever again. Like, shut the fuck up for real.
Listen. And I tell people this all the time. That's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Like, shut up and listen.
I don't want to hear I already shut up.
Yep. Yes.
Just listen.
Yep. And it's like, adults, like we as adults, like a lot of times, like I'm meeting with my very good friend Bill Soroka, and if you guys have not watched, we've had 2 episodes with him. Oh, he's absolutely amazing. You know, 26 businesses failed, you know, and it was because,
and now he's kicking ass.
Oh my
and
God.
Taking names.
Oh, for sure. And he
does things the way he wants to do things, and he does things well.
Right.
And he does very well. Doing things his way.
But you know why? Because he's learned so much from his mistakes, and he's learned so much of how to shut up and listen, like how to be mindful and how to self-reflect and how to take responsibility for his actions. And you know, I'm meeting with him tomorrow, and the time that I have with him is so it's just so special, because I know that for him, he is a busy man, and for him to take time out of his day to just sit with me and talk to me and to brainstorm, you know, and have this small mastermind, you know, that we're going to have tomorrow, because there are some pieces that I feel that are missing. And it's like, I know that I can talk to him and him tell me, Sonia, you need to fucking get your shit together, and this is what you need to do. He doesn't say those things, though. He's very loving and caring and very But you know, like, I respect him on that level to where he can give me that tough love. And I need that tough love. I'm not a soft woman. I need someone to tell me like it is.
Yeah. You know, and right now we've been in a good place for a while, right? And we're trying to move to a different level. But even still, if nothing ever changed from the way it is today, I mean, eventually we would retire and we would be fine, right? But when we meet with Bill, or when we meet with our mentors, like, we're doing good, but it's a different attitude. It's a different, like, approach. Like when we show up, we're showing up with a notebook to the restaurant,
Right.
and a pen.
Right.
You know, like we're there to listen to what they have going on.
Yes.
Like we have our own ideas of what's worked for us, and what they say may be completely opposite to what we're thinking.
Right.
And it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna fucking write it down because maybe what I'm thinking is not what I should be thinking because they're mentioning something else. And we've had that happen before. Where we have a thought about something, meet with somebody, and when we leave that meeting, we're like, yeah, I don't know if I have that same thought anymore.
Right.
Because now I kind of see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not for us to go and meet with them and like, oh, we're doing this and we're doing, no, like we're here to learn from you.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. It's like one of those.
And in those situations, it's like, you know, like I will forever be a student.
Yeah.
Like I will forever be a student because I know that there's so much in life that I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've always been hungry to learn.
Yeah.
You know, and I am okay with being corrected. I am okay with taking responsibility when I am wrong. I am okay with apologizing. I am okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that there are so many people that their pride and their ego get in the way of them just being able to learn and take in something different.
Yeah.
Because they so want to be right in every way. And we talked about this. You know, I learn from my kids. Joey corrected me the other day. I'm like, practice makes perfect. He's like, no, Mom. Nobody's perfect. Practice makes better. And I looked at him and I said, you know what, baby? Damn, I didn't tell him this, but I'm thinking of myself like, damn, this little 10-year-old just checked me.
Yeah.
Because you are so right. And I told him that, like, you are right. I'm like, dang, I've never even thought about that because we always say practice is perfect.
I was telling you, practice makes progress.
But nobody's perfect.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that humility, like where you can learn from a 10-year-old. I mean, we've learned a lot of lessons from our kids.
Right.
You know?
And that's what our children are here to do, I feel. You know, it's like I feel that our children, they're picked out. They're picked especially to be in this world for us. They are our true reflection.
I was about to say that.
Of who we are, good, bad, and ugly.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we raise them. So obviously they have a lot of our tendencies. I mean, they come from us. Mm-hmm. And then when you see things, like when you see good things, you're like, oh, that's my baby.
That's right.
And then when something's not so good, you're like, oh, where'd you get that from? That came from your mom.
What, motherfucker?
I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's like, oh, all the good shit came from me. You know what I mean?
Think about this.
It's like, oh, none of the negative stuff is like, oh, well, you should look in the mirror maybe.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about this before we go. But there was a time, you know, like, and this is for another podcast, but I think that we need to dive into our past podcast where we've talked about us when we were at our lowest times, right? When we've done things that we were not proud of, you know, and, you know, you, Miguel, have grown so much within, you know, the 14 years that we've been together. And you were a bit temperamental and very short. You know, and at times you still can be, but you slow down, you self-reflect, you think about things. And when you are wrong, you will say, I am sorry. You will apologize to the children. But it took our son, it took us going through some difficult times with our son to recognize his temper, for you to recognize your temper, to see how you were reflecting on on Joey.
That was like I think
that was a huge wake up call for you.
Yeah, that was I think that was one of the biggest like contributing things for me to like really focus on my temper and my thoughts, because I saw it in Joey. And I was just like, this kid's got like, I look at him and I'm like, damn, this kid's fucking angry. And I'm like, I get angry sometimes, but not like that. But then I started thinking, I was like, I used
when
to
you
be
were younger,
kind of angry when I was a kid.
Yes.
You know, I would get angry sometimes.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, like I would get just like him.
Yes.
You know, and that's when I really thought about it and realized it and saw it in him. It was like, this shit has to stop.
But it took you to slow down. Like it took you to recognize that. It took you to take time, right? Spending time with Joey, helping him with his homework, to recognize and to identify. And if you are one of those parents where you are just busy all the time, you know, whether, you know, you're trying, you know, it's just bringing food, you know, working nonstop or being on social media nonstop and not spending that quality time with your children, it's going to be hard to recognize those things, right? Yeah. Like if you weren't working with him and taking time out of your day to help him with his homework, to help him build Legos, to help him transform that transformer, you would have never recognized what it is that you had to work on within.
And you know what? There's another thing that it's like, there's the same thing for us, but with kids as a parent, like sometimes, like we have so much going on and there's always things happening. And when a kid comes up to you and you see that they maybe don't have so much going on right now, but we're busy doing stuff like all parents, we know that they have all kinds of shit that they can be doing. So it's like, hey, why don't you go fucking, and you could do that all day and have them busy all day. But that's almost kind of like, it's almost like a cop-out, because you're sending them to go do the things that they need to do because you don't want to sit with them and deal with them at that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I've done it before.
Yeah,
you know, it's
we've
like,
all
hey,
done it. We're all guilty of that.
They're like, hey, dad, this and that. And I'm like, how's your room look? Go clean it up.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to get back to what I'm doing or whatever, because I don't really want to deal with this shit right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those are the moments that you got to take advantage of.
Right.
You know?
Yep, for sure. Well, this was a great podcast.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being with us. I'm glad you think so. Make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com, share it with your friends. You guys can watch the podcast there. You can listen to it there. You guys can download our resource list, which is a list of books, which is a list of books and videos and podcasts that have helped us out, over our marriage and our time parenting. And we think they could help you out too. I mean, it's helped change our mindset when it comes to family finances, teaching our kids, being more mindful, and all kinds of stuff. So if you guys go to our website, you can wait for the pop-up, and all you got to do is enter your name and your email, and you can download that there. And you got anything before we get out of here, bro?
Nope. Thank you guys for all your love and for your support, and thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast,
where we get better
together. Bye.